Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're gonna be making some oxtail. Now, before we get started, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And also, follow my Instagram at Cooker Tea Kitchen. Now, without further delay, let's get started. So first, we're gonna start off by washing our oxtail with some white vinegar. This just helps to remove excess blood from the meat. So you're going to make sure to remove any excess fat from the meat, as when it renders down, it will make your pot very greasy. So you're just going to remove those excess pieces of fat. Some pieces you can pull off, and some pieces you will require a knife to remove. Be sure to disinfect your sink, as bacteria can make someone sick, and we don't want that. So now we're just going to start off by slicing our onion. Now to slice a quarter of a yellow bell pepper. This is quarter of a red pepper sliced. We're going to finely chop 6 cloves of garlic. So you're just going to flatten the bulbs of garlic with your knife, and then we're just going to give it a fine chop. Now I love garlic. I like to use garlic in a lot of the dishes that I cook, as it imparts so much flavor, and I mean, garlic's good for you, so why not? So we're gonna chop 2 pimento peppers, which is native to Trinidad. This is a sweeter variety of pepper with no heat, so it imparts a lot of flavor. Here I'm using a quarter of a Scotch bonnet, however the heat intensity is up to your discretion. So we're going to be seasoning with some salt, pepper, oxtail seasoning, all-purpose seasoning, paprika, onion powder, pimento seeds, and browning. Now, oxtail is surely a labor of love, as it is a process to prepare, but the efforts will never go in vain, as the end result is usually so delicious. Who doesn't enjoy a good oxtail? I mean, it's so flavorful and so versatile, it could be served with any side. I enjoy mine with rice and peas. Comment below, let me know how you enjoy your oxtail. That being said, let me know below if you want me to share my rice and peas recipe for you to enjoy with this oxtail. Now don't forget to thumbs up this recipe, guys, to see more content. I truly thank you for all the support. So I also used 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, which I forgot to mention previously. So when adding the browning, just be mindful that this is adding coloring to the meat. So don't add too much, or the appearance of your meat, instead of being brown, will be black. So we're just gonna mix to combine the seasonings and the browning into the meat. Rubbing while mixing will help to impart and incorporate that flavor deep down into the flesh of the meat. Now remember, all these steps are to incorporate maximum amount of flavor into your meat. So don't be shy, show it some love. So now I'm gonna add 1 sprig of thyme. It can be fresh or dried thyme. And I'm also gonna add the fresh seasonings that we had cut earlier. Now, once we've mixed this all together, we're going to marinate it in the fridge, covered for a minimum of 2 hours, but overnight is best. The longer this sits to marinate, the better the flavor will be. So it's worth the wait, if possible. But like I said, minimum 2 hours. So now we're just gonna heat a pot on high heat and add 2 tablespoons of oil. Once that is hot, we're then gonna add our oxtail and sear it. Now this searing process helps to lock in the flavors and juices into the meat. Also as well, it helps to maintain and add some brown color. So even though you did the browning, this step will also help with browning the meat. The searing process also allows for the herbs and spices to release their full flavor profile as they hit that high heat. Now remember, we're trying to build flavor here. Now here I'm adding 1 tablespoon of sugar. This is totally optional, but I find it does impart a little bit more flavor into the oxtail. At this point, we're gonna cover and let it cook for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, the meat will release its own juices, so this needs to be evaporated off and some will be absorbed by the meat. So this is after an additional 15 minutes. As you can see, the juices have evaporated. At this point, we're gonna add some boiling hot water from our kettle. And you're gonna add enough water to cover the meat, as this will help to stew the meat, because this will be a cooking period of about 2 hours. Now at this point, we're gonna just cover the pot and we're gonna make sure to check the pot every 30 minutes, adding hot water as needed. So after 30 minutes, as we can see, our pot does need some more water. So I do have my kettle on standby and I'll be adding some more water to the pot. And again, enough water to cover the meat. Now just a side note, I like to cook my oxtail low and slow, which is the old school method. This is just a personal preference for me. I do own an Instapot, and if you own a pressure cooker, feel free to do this in your pressure cooker. So for the last 30 minutes of cooking, you can now adjust seasonings in your pot. So I've added some garlic powder. I also added some sliced green onions. Went in with some butter, and this will help to make a nice rich gravy. And 1 can of rinsed butter beans. Again, this adds to the thickness of your gravy. Now, if you don't have butter beans on hand or don't have access to butter beans, you can make some mini dumplings called spinners, and it'll be just as tasty. At this point, I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of ketchup to my oxtail. Now I know there's a debate whether ketchup belongs in oxtail or not,
I add it to my recipe. I like the flavor it brings, and also as well how it thickens up the gravy or helps to build the gravy. But if you're not a fan of putting ketchup in your oxtail, then just omit it from the recipe.
I mean, do you? I ain't mad at you.
Now I did add 1 pimento pepper, and I continued to cook this for 20 more minutes.
After 20 minutes, your gravy should have thickened and your meat should be fall off the bone tender.
So here's the final product, guys. I've plated it here with some basmati rice, a fresh green salad, and some freshly sliced cucumbers. Now, this can also be enjoyed with rice and peas and other sides. I hope this video was helpful. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy, and see you in the next video.